The air in room 214 of the Rayburn House office building hung heavy thick with the weight of anticipation, as if the marble walls themselves were holding their breath, waiting for a spark to ignite the room. Senator John Neely Kennedy stepped into the chamber, his Navy suit unassuming but purposeful, a simple silver pin reading LA glinting on his lapel, his sharp eyes scanning the space with a quiet resolve that belied the storm about to unfold. The nameplate outside declared, "This the Committee on Oversight and Accountability," but inside it felt less like a congressional hearing and more like a courtroom teetering on the edge of a verdict no one could predict. The red tally lights of C-SPAN, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox blinked steadily, their unblinking lenses trained on a scene that promised to sear itself into America's memory. Every major network broadcasted live, raw, unfiltered, capturing a moment simmering like a pressure cooker ready to explode. The chamber was packed, not with the usual polished lobbyists or think tank observers, but with journalists typing furiously, their screens casting pale glows in the dim light, staffers shuffling papers with deliberate care, and Capitol officers standing rigid by the doors, their hands twitching near their radios, sensing the unspoken tension. The clock on the wall ticked forward, its hands slicing through the silence like a scalpel through skin. This was no ordinary hearing. This was a reckoning, and every soul in the room knew it, even if they couldn't yet name the spark that would set it ablaze. Jill Biden entered next precisely on schedule, her presence commanding as if the room owed her its allegiance. Flanked by 4 lawyers in crisp suits, a former Secret Service agent with a 1,000-yard stare, and a PR handler who avoided all eye contact, she moved with the assurance of someone who had navigated power's corridors for decades. Her tailored gray blazer and pearl necklace caught the overhead lights, projecting an image of unshakable control. She offered a practiced smile to the cameras, one that suggested they were there to serve her, not scrutinize her. Even seated, her posture radiated readiness, as if she could rise at any moment to steer the script back to her favor. 12 feet across the room, Kennedy sat alone. No entourage trailing him, no stylist fussing over his appearance. His hands were folded, his gaze fixed on Jill Biden with an intensity that felt almost predatory, like a prosecutor tracking a witness's faltering breath. He hadn't spoken yet, and he didn't need to. His presence alone declared, "I'm here to uncover truth, not to bend to it." The room wasn't quiet. It was hushed, a distinction that pressed heavily on every occupant. Quiet is peace. Hushed is tension holding its breath, pretending not to exist. Staffers moved with exaggerated care, their papers rustling like whispers afraid to be heard. Journalists texted with trembling thumbs, their screens glowing faintly in the dim light. Even the marble